Okay, this is where life gets really interesting. I spend hardly any time preparing a lesson. The lessons that I had to leave today nearly killed me. It took me about an hour and a half to prepare 2 one-hour lessons because I needed everything nailed down for a non-specialist to teach. But my own lessons will take me less than 5 minutes to plan. I'm not recommending that to you at this stage, okay? Right, and I'll never write that plan down. Yeah, and I was the same when I was teaching 5 lessons a day. And the reason for that is, I know I'm going to make a difference to my kids through feedback. The different activities I might do in the classroom arise out of the feedback. They don't arise out of, I wonder what would be a really good idea that would be really fun to do with this class. Sometimes I do that just for a laugh, yeah, just for my own satisfaction or to give the kids a break. But nearly all my progress comes from feedback. And that's really important for you because there are dozens of ways of planning a lesson and all of them could be equally good. So it doesn't pay to sweat the planning too much. That only works if you're thinking about what the kids are learning. Yeah, so when I mark my books, that is my lesson plan. Well, I know what my kids don't know. I found out that they keep using the comma splice and they don't know how to write in an original way. Okay, those are the 2 things I'm going to focus on next lesson. How will I do that? Well, I've got the books. I'm going to use her, I'm going to use him, and whatever else I've got. But this was his exam practice. He wrote it in his book, and his handwriting was horrible, I couldn't read it. And so I said, James, can you just go and type that up while I teach another bit? And now I talk from this in the lesson. So, here we go then. I'm going to give you feedback on your reading now. So, when I call your name, you're going to read out the first paragraph, and then the second paragraph. It's got to be brilliant. Ready?
Oh, I knew that would happen. Okay. The screams of the damned rang in my ear. Oh, I don't want to do this. As the birds twittered outside, I was just heading towards my dreams, but a chilling cry froze me to the core. On the wall, strangely high up on it, was a plea for salvation, stained in blood. Reaching a conclusion, I turned back for one reason. The people trapped here needed help, desperately.
Thank you.
First, I needed a weapon that could be used for defence. Too obviously, I headed towards the surgery room, unaware of the dangers this could pose. I opened the door and frantically ransacked the place for anything blunt. Coming across a bust of some sort of famous doctor, I neatly slotted it inside my belt. A single hit would be enough to knock anyone to next Wednesday.
Thank you. Who was the best reader and why?
I don't know. Yeah, but you weren't any better either.
Can I jump in?
Please do.
Yeah, okay, well, it was obviously Pyrrha because I stuttered and stuttered and stumbled. I spoke my own words rather than reading from on there.
What do you mean? You spoke rather
So I
than
said
read?
something like,
You
the
said
screams
ring,
of the,
rather than
yeah, I said rang and then I corrected myself.
Yes.
No, I said
Ring.
ringed and then I corrected myself.
Yeah.
But I also said something like the screams of the damned rang in my ear. Oh wait,
Yeah.
does that make sense?
It does indeed. Thank you very much. Very brave of you and wonderful of you to volunteer that
That's
as well.
all right.
Thank you. Right. Why I do that, yeah, is everything is an assessment opportunity in my class. Absolutely everything. So I feedback on everything. It's uncomfortable. Yeah, you don't like reading out loud, obviously.
Okay.
But because it's uncomfortable, the chances are you won't get your kids to do it. Because you know, well, that will make them feel uncomfortable.
I know I do.
You do you?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Out principle.
Okay,
That's all
good.
sounds.
And that's something that I'll keep drumming into you today, is you can't afford to be the kind of teacher you would like to have. Yeah? You've got to be the kind of teacher that makes kids learn no matter what. And that is uncomfortable. Yeah? Your first reaction was, I knew it would be me. And that's what every kid in my class thinks. Oh, it could be me. Sometimes, like with you lot, because there are so few of you, I put the sticks back down. In a class of 30, I won't. Because that kid will think, oh, I'm all right now. I'll put them back in. And then we go again. And it increases the number of goes that kids think about learning in my class. Ideally, they would be doing it all the time, but in the real world they don't. But any tricks that I can use to force them to keep thinking, I'll do that. And it is quite uncomfortable. Right, so my next reader is going to take the best of what they heard here and give me something even better.
No pressure. To me, everything was now a danger. I was frightened and ecstatic in my approach to this new threat. He came around the corner as obviously as I did. Without hesitation, I ducked behind the surgery table. He appeared to be completely normal, but I couldn't take any chances. Sidling up behind him, I hit him with my wrapped up bust in order to prevent too serious an injury, and he fell instantly to the ground.
Thank you very much. How did she do?
I thought that there was great expression and intonation.
Thank you very much. Do you agree?
I think probably spoke too quickly.
Hold on. Do you agree that you had intonation and expression?
Hopefully, yes. I wouldn't want to be
Okay,
flat.
but you're setting yourself a better target of speaking a bit more slowly.
Yeah.
Okay, and instantly you get kids assessing themselves, checking that they want to do better.
Yeah, but originally you had kids assessing each other. That's what it is, isn't it? Is this exactly what classroom practice would be?
This is, yeah, I'd teach my class exactly like this.
Yeah, I think I think, I don't know, maybe just in the classes I have, but the asking me then to judge my peers, I don't think it would get an honest or a reaction at all.
Yeah, what do I do if I don't get a reaction?
Wait.
Ask them.
I wait, or you stepped in. If you hadn't stepped in, I was coming back to you. Yeah, or, okay Sam, I'm going to get you to assess the next person. Yeah, so you listen really closely. I'll always come back to the kid who says I don't know. Always. If the kid still refuses, I'll do this. I say, please stand up. No, stand up. I said, when you can feed back to me, you can sit down again. I've discovered that standing is the worst punishment you can give a kid. They absolutely hate standing up. I don't know why, but it's brilliant. They just like say, oh God, I'm standing here. Oh, I really want to sit down. I don't know where the peer pressure to sit comes from.
How long did you find it took? Because obviously when you get a new class, you train them to
Yes.
respond. It takes a little bit of time. I mean, was it something that was fairly quick, or did it take a while? And now they obviously
That
expect.
does depend on the class. I'll show you in a minute.
Okay.
I'll show you. There is an answer. I'll show you.
I did know though.
You did know.
I knew the answer.
I know, and you didn't want to give it
No.
because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but my job as a teacher is to make it impossible for you to give in to that discomfort. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because otherwise I've got people who are going to peer assess, who will lie to each other to make themselves feel good. So I might not have bothered. Yeah, I have to create a climate where it's unacceptable not to fail. Remember I started by saying that I keep pushing my kids until they're no good at something. That's why I say to them, now I'm going to earn my money. There's something you don't know. Yeah, and they'll say to me, you haven't earned your money today, sir, you know? Yeah.
This may sound like a silly question, but if you have a pupil that has speech, language and communication issues, how do you go about them? Do you still get them to read in the class?
Yeah, I do. Look,
Okay.
right. Sir, I'm dyslexic. Thank you, I know you're dyslexic. What are you doing about it? What strategies have you got to overcome your difficulties?
Maybe like a
Well,
really
you're
bad
supposed to do
stomach.
that for me, sir. No, I'm not. What strategies have you got? Let's have a conversation. I'll talk to you after class. We'll talk about how to overcome it. Yeah, don't have an excuse culture. Never.
Even
Never.
with the stammer.
What about some
How's he going to overcome the stammer? Yeah, or, okay, we know James is going to stammer. Okay, James, that's okay. give it your best shot, off you go. It might be a disaster. Okay, James, how was that compared to the last time that I got you to do this? Yeah? Or I might pick someone else. Alice, how did James do compared to last? Oh, last time we had to wait for a whole minute. This time it was great. You know? You always take the kid beyond where they are. Otherwise, you're not earning your money. You're not doing your job. It is uncomfortable. I keep coming to that. It is uncomfortable, yeah? But, hell, that kid's going out in the real world and everyone's going to judge him. That's uncomfortable. If you haven't given them the tools to deal with it, you know, have you been fair to that kid? I say no.